following several developments in the Middle East. The United States announcing an additional $400 million in aid for Palestinians. Secretary of State Antony Blinken says the money will help civilians in places like Gaza and the West Bank.
I'm announcing an additional $404 million in new aid to Palestinians, in addition to the more than $1.8 billion in development, economic, and humanitarian aid that the United States has provided since 2021.
Now, Blinken made that pledge at an emergency international conference in Jordan. He has been meeting with leaders from across the Middle East to build support for a ceasefire in Gaza. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu supports the measure, which was first announced last month by President Joe Biden. Now, Secretary Blinken calls on Hamas to agree to the deal. That was also approved by the UN Security Council yesterday. And here with analysis is Gershon Baskin, award-winning writer and former Middle East peace negotiator. Gershon, thank you so much for joining us today. On the Security Council vote, it is so rare to see such agreement. Does that give this resolution more gravity? And does a signature from Netanyahu, along with mounting international pressure, mean anything to Hamas? And what will it take to get them to the table and accept a deal?
First of all, the Security Council was a very good Security Council resolution. It is rare, as you said, to see such a good resolution coming out of the Security Council, and no one vetoed it. Russia did abstain, but the rest of the world apparently agrees with it. The big question is, does Israel agree to it? Will Hamas agree to it? As far as I can see, Netanyahu has said yes to Secretary of State Blinken and to President Biden. But I don't believe that Netanyahu could get this through the cabinet. Hamas has asked for clarifications because Hamas won't make a deal that doesn't end the war. And as far as we've been told, Israel won't make a deal that does end the war. So I'm not sure how much value there is in the Security Council resolution or in the supposed agreement of Netanyahu to President Biden and Secretary Blinken. We have to see what's happening in the coming days.
All right, going back to Saturday, how does the hostage rescue at Nuseirat impact negotiations and the psyche of both sides?
First of all, there's a lot of pressure on Netanyahu to continue with the war effort, believing that only the war effort will release the hostages. That, of course, is coming from the right wing of his government and from the right wing of the Israeli public. And the majority of the Israeli public wants this war to end and wants a deal to bring the hostages home. There are 120 hostages left in Gaza. Believe that about 80 of them are still alive. We know that the longer they stay in Gaza, the more there is risk to their lives. The rescue operation, which was a military act of heroism, no doubt about it, but it also left about 270 dead people in Gaza. We don't know how many of them were combatants and how many were non-combatants, but a significant number were non-combatants. And we have to understand and accept that the only way to bring all the hostages home is through a negotiated deal with Hamas. The only way to have a negotiated deal with Hamas is to end the war.
Gershon, how do you see the next days and weeks playing out? Will we see a deal soon, or is this war just going to continue on?
I would really like to be optimistic. I try to be optimistic. It's difficult to see how you close the gap between one side that says no deal without an end to the war and the other side that says no deal with the end to the war. I don't know how they're going to do it. I think that U.S. pressure on Israel could be effective, but the only effective pressure would be if the U.S. would notify Israel that it's not shipping any more bombs to Israel for this war. It would have Israel's back if Hezbollah attacks or if Iran attacks, but the United States could stop this war by stopping to fuel it with additional weapons to Israel. Other than that, I don't know how it stops. The U.S. is talking about a separate deal with Hamas on the release of 8 American hostages, 5 of them who are believed to be alive. I don't know what the United States could offer Hamas that Hamas would accept. Certainly not money. The United States can't stop the war. I don't know what could be provided here. So I think we're pretty deadlocked. And right now, I think with the exit of Benny Gantz's party from the government, we might very likely see masses, many more masses of Israelis taking to the streets, demanding an end to the war and new elections in Israel. That might be the only hope for us ending this war.
Gershon Baskin, appreciate your thoughts. Thank you so much.
Thank you.